Here we go. W7, we are live, coming at you live, 8:04, not bad, only 4 minutes late. That's pretty good for me, Coach. What do you think?
That's right on time for us.
Welcome to the Isolation Chamber. Welcome to, first of all, W7 headquarters here at the palatial estates on Oconomowoc, underground and shielded from the world and all of its corona plague that's wreaking havoc on us. Ed Rowie joining us from Wauwatosa. You're much closer to the world of corona than I am out here.
Oh yeah, just outside the epicenter, I guess.
The epicenter. Well, that's probably New York, but I get your drift. Well, hey, I'm sure people love hearing all of our jokes, everything else, but they probably are here to hear some standings and hear about the homeschool contest and all that stuff. So I suppose we should talk about that. You think? It's
been incredible to watch.
Well, so before we get into the standings, I mean, that was my first question for you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm really, really like blown away by the level of participation this year, and really just what we're seeing as far as the fundraising goes.
The daily updates and now the every couple hour updates to see the changes has just been incredible to watch.
And I hate to try to forecast, because I don't want to ever say anything that could be construed in any way as right. Giving any hints, because I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. So all I'm doing at best, it's like picking a winner of a basketball game. I have no idea. I mean, nobody's given me any inside knowledge. I think most everybody's paranoid to give me any inside knowledge. So people see it about 5 minutes after I see it. This is the third year of doing this, Coach. And I mean, each year I've said I don't expect any drama in the last couple hours. And each year I've been sorely mistaken. But this year, I mean, we had Fast and Furious last night. I mean, we had a ton of activity last night. We've had a good amount of activity today. It seems like since 3 o'clock, it's kind of settled, and it's 8:05. I mean, can we go to bed early tonight? And you think we're done?
No chance. You and I both know this is going to go right down to the 11:59 time, and the winner, we won't know until that 11:59, till the clock strikes midnight, and it's officially April 1. We're going to have a race to the finish.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me pull up the standings real quick here, and I'll put that on the screen. So we'll just keep talking here. But top 10. So starting at the top, I mean, Germantown, $8,310.70, and so that's grown by another $50. And every donation, they're breaking their own record, and not just breaking. I mean, they've absolutely smashed the record,
shattered it.
Yeah. Much like the girls basketball team this year. I mean, just high potent and just run. I mean, that's what they're doing. I mean, it's classic Germantown.
Exactly. Get out and run and keep going and pull away.
That's right. I mean, they'd have it no other way, and you know what? I'd have it no other way with them. I mean, it's a pity how the season ended, but nobody should have any regrets on that season. I'm telling you, nobody. I mean, they played their hearts out that last game. They did everything possible. I thought, coaching wise, playing wise, there's nothing more that could have been done. I mean, they played their hearts out.
Right. No, they were so fun to watch. We were so fortunate to be a part of so many of their games, and just their whole community, the way they support that team and the way the team just pulled for each other. They were just fun. Just a fun group.
I couldn't agree more. And, it's the double-edged sword, right? I mean, you love the fact you get a chance to watch them play and be a part of it. But at the same time, I mean, you got a special group of seniors that we're not going to see anymore. And that's, I'm still kind of coming to terms with that in some ways.
It's the hardest part about all of this, having to say goodbye to the seniors.
Well, and a great group at that. But back to the standings here. So Germantown in the lead, 83-10. Mishicot 57-48-75. So, they're what, 2,600 behind. I mean, that's a big hill to climb. But you got to know Mishicot though.
No way do we count them out, and we're not counting anybody out. But that's a big number. It's a big number.
And I would say for almost anybody, I would say, hey, that's that ball game with them. And again, I don't know anything. I'm just going by doing 4 of their games this year that we did, and by going up to the state tournament with them the way we did, and just getting to know the community. I mean, you know, who brings 17 fire trucks and police cars and ambulances for a police escort out of town for the players? I mean, and it wasn't just out of town, it was out of county, and they went like 15 miles with us. You know, cars in front of us, sirens blaring. I mean, it was get out of the way.
And a credit to you, you were right there in the middle of it.
It was amazing.
Becoming a part of their community.
The streets were lined with people waving, and the girls. I said in my article I wrote that they were like Dorothy, you know, taking off in the balloon with the wizard, waving goodbye to everybody. You know, as the balloon took off. I mean, they were so great to watch. I almost had to remind myself to keep the camera going because it was fun just watching them and watching their reaction.
Outstanding. That's what it should be. I mean, in all athletics, you're going to state. That's a big goal accomplished. Not the end goal, but it's a big goal. And when you can have a send off like that, it brings chills.
It did. I mean, the whole day. I mean, the pep rally. I mean, hear the athletic director talking about, hey, it's going to be standing room only. We may not get some of the families be able to come into the gym because don't have enough room. I mean, you know, it was jam packed, and it was amazing. And they brought their kindergarten, pre-K through 12th grade. I mean, the entire student body was there and cheering, you know, like maniacs. I mean, you know, these girls, I'm telling you, they were like rock stars.
That's the pep rally in a nutshell.
Yeah, it was great. So, you know, point being, I don't count them out by any means. You know, we'll have to see what happens. And then, you know, you can never count out the Dashers. I mean, we all know that. DSHA in third place, 3,370. I mean, to me, it's kind of it's a 3-horse race at this point.
Coach Hendu has been very anxious at every single one of your updates. He's retweeting it. He's the first one on. He's been very involved and interested. So I wonder, are they laying in the weeds? Is Coach Hendu got something up his sleeves? Do the Dashers come from way back?
Well, I'm putting little G on the camera here to see what he thinks. He's saying, you know, ask again later.
Is that the magic 8 ball?
It is the magic 8 ball. That's
Shake
exactly
it up,
right.
See what comes out.
And you know, while we're talking about the standings, I mean, you know, down the list, I mean, Brookfield Central in there, Appleton East, KM, and you know, hey, there can only be one winner here, but at the end, and this sounds trite, but I mean, at the end, I mean, the girls all win.
Oh, no question. I mean, this all goes back to the girls. And I think that's the number one message we need to send out is all of this goes right back into what we are doing, which is getting girls athletics to the forefront.
Yeah.
Or at least trying to.
You know, even if so, I mean, what I would say is even if your school is, you know, not in the running per se, you know, we would still love any support that you can give us. Again, it all goes right back into what we're doing, equipment wise,
right.
Expense wise, and you know, it's just part of what we do. I mean, this is our model, and we're working on a lot of really cool things. You and I have been talking about some things, and we got some great opportunities. I think with maybe some television opportunities this fall that we're looking into. So I think things are really starting to pop, and I think we've got some great opportunities here.
It's going to that next level, taking the girls with us, or they're taking us.
They're taking us.
We're in this together.
Yeah, you're right on about that. I mean, it's I said it, and again, not to sound corny, but I mean, this belongs to them. We're just stewards for them. I mean, at some point, I'm hoping that somebody's going to step up and say, hey, step aside, old man. Let me take this over for you and do a great job. And I can go down and play shuffleboard.
No, you can't. You can't leave your house right now.
That's true.
You can't even practice your shuffleboard.
While we're on the topic, thoughts. I mean, on spring. I mean, do you see any chance here of pulling something out for spring sports?
Boy, it doesn't look real promising, but you can never give up any type of hope. You got to hope that the people in charge understand the importance of athletics and communities. You just talked about how Mishicot reacted. I mean, that's in every community, and it's not the send-off. It's just the getting together and seeing people. And I think people are understanding now more than ever how important seeing that neighbor outside is, driving by somebody and giving them a wave. It's something so simple, but there isn't a person right now that doesn't miss that.
Well, that's so true. And people ask me, hey, how are you doing? Not doing any games. And like, well, hey, I'm fine about the games. I mean, that's it. It's a bummer, but more than anything, I miss the kids a lot. I really just miss seeing them and hanging out with them and goofing around. I mean, I miss that's the part. I mean, the games are fine, but I mean, it's the kids, especially for softball, because obviously it's near and dear to both of our hearts, but we got a lot of really neat kids that we got to go see. And I'm just, I'm really just torn up about this whole thing because, I don't know what that's going to mean.
Yeah. Especially when you look back at the people we got to meet this year, the number of people that came up to us at any game we did, the amount of people that came up to us, hey, really enjoy what you're doing. And again, it's not about us. It's about those kids. And, you just think about our 1920 season. We bookended our basketball season with going out to Carroll, going to the university, and they opened their arms to us, welcomed us in, bring us in. And those relationships, that's something that's going to carry us going forward. But when you think, going back to what you just said, losing those seniors and them not getting that opportunity to be out there right now and finish out their high school career, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. It is, and I know a lot of them obviously will play ball this summer, assuming that we have a summer. I mean, again, I don't know what's going to happen, but I said, hey, we'll try and do something. There's a whole bunch of them that I want to see, obviously, especially the seniors. But
Right.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's like I told Jason Zaleski. I mean, if it saves one kid's life, it's all worth it, and 10 times over.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's what all of this is about, is saving lives. And it's unfortunate. Nobody's enjoying this. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
Nobody's enjoying this.
No.
But you have to make the best of it. And making the best of it for us at W7 is having that hope that we get to see these kids in the spring. And if not the spring, in the summer.
My wife's really not enjoying this at all. I told her in March, I said, beginning of March, I said, be careful what you wish for. And she's like, boy, I wish you were home more and, around more often. I'm like, be careful what you wish for. And then she told me tonight at dinner, she's like, remember when you said, be careful what you wish for? Boy, when are those games going to get started again?
Can you go outside and just announce the grass getting green or something?
Well, it's gotten to the point where I saw the Macos from West Alice Hill were doing a family ping pong tournament. I said, hey, do you want us to live stream it? And we'll call the game.
Reaching new heights, I think.
Well, so the schedule the rest of the night, it's 8:17. Now we'll have updates now at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. And then 11 o'clock, after that update, I mean, that's it until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that's when we announce at 7 a.m. tomorrow, which I'm already getting some words from coaches may not be super excited about doing that at 7 in the morning, but we'll make it work. And that last hour is kind of the free for all, as I call it, where you can donate whatever, whenever. I mean, what I'm encouraging people is not to wait till 11:58 and have their internet go down or their PC go down, and then it gets in at 12:05 because it's not going to count.
It's a marathon is 26.2. Well, that's the 0.2.
Yeah.
For our marathon, and great sprint to the finish.
Well, and I told our folks earlier today, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I said, hey, we're gonna film it tonight and be online together and film it to make it into a kind of a goofball little film at the end. I mean, when it's all said and done, to show what that last hour looks like. We're gonna be hitting refresh about 18,000 times.
the buttons will be worn down.
I mean, for me, I mean, I still have to do the, celebration video and I've got, 3 templates and, unless there's a fourth I don't know about. And you know what? Don't even rule that out. I mean, as funny as it sounds, I mean, I wouldn't rule out somebody coming just completely out of nowhere and taking this thing.
It would be incredible. It would be incredible, but you're right. It isn't out of the realm.
Highlights of this season, Coach, for you, looking back at basketball, obviously, well, let me start with volleyball. I got to tell you, there's just some amazing athletes in volleyball. These kids, what the things that they do. I mean, to watch, the Brookfield Central girls, I call them the Twin Towers. I mean, Wooker and Doherty, to watch those two up, up front, both of them 6'2", 6'3", and athletic, and it's pick your poison with them. And then you got the Kebasek kid setting her up. She's one of the best setters in the state. I mean, to watch stuff like that, to watch the Aubrey Hamiltons at Arrowhead,
yeah.
to watch the L. Truckenbrodes at Kettlebury and Lutheran. I have gained so much respect for volleyball this year and just being around it. I mean, honestly, the sport terrifies me.
Well, watching it on TV or on your iPad or whatever, you don't get a real understanding of the speed that's in front of you until you're right there. It's a whole new ball game. I mean, almost literally, when you are there up close and watching the speed and watching, as you said, the athleticism up close, it's a different game, and it's intense from the first throw to the end. It is intense.
Well, and a highlight also was seeing Elise Strifka from Slinger get her 1,000th set in her career. I got to be there in person for that, to witness that. And again, so many great moments, a lot of great tournaments. We're looking forward to volleyball this fall. I mean, I've already got parents messaging me like, "Hey, when's the volleyball schedule coming out?" And I'm like, "Well, we haven't started softball yet." I mean,
well, yeah. Hey, they're excited. That's okay.
They are. But getting into basketball, I mean, highlights for you this year. I mean, you saw a lot of great basketball this year.
I was really fortunate. Right out, I came out of the gates. We did the game at Carroll, and then the 7 that I did personally at Brook Central at the Turkey Shootout. And then right away I got to do at Germantown with 15 lead changes, 11 ties, and overtime. You could see 2 incredible teams that, as I talked about that night, their goal wasn't so much winning that game, which it is for every coach to win every game, but it was that gold ball and how that game was going to get them prepared going forward. They each win their conference. Germantown fell short, but Pewaukee had reached Green Bay. We were fortunate enough to do that game against Pius, in which was a close game in the first half, and then to watch that final 3 minutes of the first half and that charge and watch the Pirates just dominate a very good Pius team. It was incredible. Those were definitely highlights. The individuals we got to see, so many. Mortag score school record 37 on W7 lights. It's just the legend and I, and it was incredible to watch her basically bring the team back on her own because they were down 19.
Yeah.
And her 3 at the buzzer was off, but it was incredible to watch her bring that team back and scoring 37, which again was a school record. And then next time they play, BC at Germantown wins and she scores 35. And, so to see that and see that player develop into the Greater Metro Player of the Year. And then, some of the other games, the young Waukesha West team with Coach Buzalaki and what he's developing there. I got to see Savannah Balseric, who is, as I said to you numerous times, I mean, just an incredible athlete, the best athlete I saw all year. I mean, Belmont's getting a great one. Belmont track. A lot of people wanted her for basketball, but I can see the track side of things.
Yeah, Savannah Balseric from Muskego. I mean, just such a talent, and 1,000 points of basketball. A tremendous track athlete. I mean, the sky is the limit for that kid for sure.
Yeah. So those are a few I had. I was fortunate, and that doesn't even talk about, again, as we said, the number of people that have come up to us. They always say, "Hey, we love what you're doing," but again, it's not about us. It's for those kids, and they're just the end for us. It's so fun just to be there and to be involved in those schools and to be a part of it. And we get, front row seats or high perch seats. I walk into Hale and Coach Sotiros has me on the perch, and I've got stats and water waiting for me. It's fantastic.
Well, and it really is. I mean, I go to Slinger and we can be up in the mezz, or we could be, down on the floor, wherever we want. I mean, Mike, lets us kind of run the place and kind of be where we want to be. And, Coach Dobson's got kids there waiting to help us out. And, I'm the same as you. I mean, yeah, you could go down a list of, hey, what are the top 10 games? I mean, that would be, great, everything. And we could do that at some point. Maybe we will next year. But to me, there's just so many experiences that transcend the game. I mean, some of the things you were talking about. I mean, being there, when some of these, great things happen, like you said, to watch, McNeil play at Germantown, to watch KK Arnold, hit the floor and is she going to live up to what everybody thought? And, she did that and more, I thought, this year.
No doubt. Yeah, no question.
To see so many, to have 7 senior nights in a row, 7 days in a row, which to me was just, insane to do that. But, I look back on it and just, boy, got to talk to so many just great kids, and then, to see the, senior nights at the kids we're probably closest with, the Germantown kids, the Slinger kids, the Brookfield Central kids. I mean, those are hard nights. And again, I always respect the coaches so much for what they, for what they do and how they carry themselves, because most times they behave better than I do. I mean, I'm a disaster for those things. And, the coaches are, so professional and, but inside, I mean, it's the toughest thing there is to do.
Tears you up, but you got to try to hold it together.
Yeah. Being part of the Watertown Holiday Tournament for the first time, for their first tournament, we've heard so much great feedback from people getting to watch it. Of course, the Badger Challenge, getting to do that, all of those games at Beaver Dam, which is, I mean, that's a college level facility. It's just, that's a crazy good facility. Of course, girls basketball day at Wisconsin. Badgers came up short, but boy, did they play a great first half against Iowa. And you wish they would have won, but I mean, you really started to see some glimmers of, hey, what this team could potentially be, down the road. And I think, patience is the key. I think Coach Zip is building something, he's building it from the ground up. He wants Wisconsin kids, and boy, you just got to love a coach like that wants, our kids to stay home and play ball.
Put the fence around we want to keep them here. And we're just fortunate enough that we've seen quite a few of them. Can't forget about the Pius tournament. We were fortunate enough to be a part of that. And in a small little thing that they did for us, just blocking off that runway, that walkway, those little things.
I felt like a VIP.
Why? We had a rope.
Dude, he was like watching, he was like Secret Service, man. He was all over it.
Until his shift was over, then he starts cracking jokes.
To hear Drew Henning, be the first kid to say for the girls on camera, being able to, be a part of that and just witness that. I mean, again, it's just, there's so many things that have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
And, I think ultimately, you and I are, and Larry, can't forget Larry Legend, of course, but I think we're all of the same accord that, hey, the games are the games and, what's going to happen is going to happen. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about the girls. It's about being with them. It's about, being there to help them celebrate celebrate and also sometimes not celebrate. I mean, it's, there's good and bad.
There's incredible life lessons that are a part of anything you do when you're involved with so many people, and to put yourself out there. I mean, people forget when you go and play in a sport, you're doing that in front of, sometimes as much as 2,000-3,000 people. That's a lot. And if you've ever done that, it's intimidating. Just that roar is intimidating. So to put yourself out there, it's incredible to watch and to watch them succeed and to interact and to, teamwork and just how they move together. It's poetry half the times, just without speaking. They're moving places just on instinct. And it's so fun to watch.
And the so much toughness that we saw, and that's always the knock on girls athletics. I mean, hey, they're not tough like that. Boy, I'll tell you what, to watch, Carly Ayotte, go up and down the floor with a torn ACL for 2 months in the season. I mean, I've never heard of anybody doing anything like that. And, hey, was she 100%? No. She had a torn ACL, but, did she got it out constantly? Yes, she did. To see Vivian Gendy from Pewaukee playing, I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but she played the second half with a broken foot.
Did not. And she stepped up her game. As I said, I was fortunate enough to do that Germantown game early in the year. She was a different player, and we talked about it in that Pewaukee versus Pius game. She was a different player, and she was a big reason why that team went as far as they did.
For KO to give me the KO shirt, the Oshkosh, UW Oshkosh KO shirt. I mean, it's pathetic to see a grown man cry on camera, but I mean, how do you hold that back? I mean, and to see her play the kind of game that she wanted to play, I mean, you could just see. To me, I almost just saw this look of, I did what I've wanted to do. Hey, they didn't get to finish the journey, of course, but you'd still look back and say, if you have to end your career, your last game a certain way, I don't know there's a better way than the way she did.
They got to walk off the floor a winner.
That's always the goal.
Yeah, and their last game of the year, they won. Now, they didn't take home the gold ball, but they got to walk off the floor a winner.
Yeah. Well, for all of that and a billion reasons more, that's why we do what we do. And of course, we didn't get softball this year, but I could spend an hour talking about softball last year. But for all those things, I mean, that's why we do it. I mean, we constantly hear that, hey, thanks for doing this, and it's so great that you guys give up your time to do this, and yeah, we do. But we like you and I have said a million times. I mean, we take so much more than we give. It's just it's almost not fair.
Yeah, we're so fortunate to be a part of it all, and they open their doors to us and open their arms to us and let us become a part of what they are doing. And that is what the fundraiser is about, because then that just helps us help them, basically.
Yeah. Well, we are 3 hours and 30 minutes away. Next update at 9 o'clock. We're going to end our show here tonight. And, at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, whoever wins tonight, everybody still wins. I mean, there's no losers in this event this year. And, if you're in that, top group and you didn't win, all you got to do is look back at what we did with Germantown last year. They didn't win, but we're going to take care of everybody.
Always.
So one last thing, a huge, enormous, I don't have words, so I won't go into words, but I'll have a video coming out in the next couple hours. Thank you to Slinger High School, Mike Daniels, Tony Dobson, Coach Hassey, Coach Villarreal, of course, all the players, the staff, the facility staff, for all of their support, all of they did to help us be successful. Yeah. We could not have asked for a better home school than Slinger, and Slinger always has a very, very soft spot for me.
They set the bar.
Yeah. So we're not going anywhere. Obviously, we got to go see Ridiculous and Kate Hosking and the crew next year. I'll tell you what, they're gonna be tough again. They'll miss some of those seniors, but you got a lot of talent coming back, and Coach Dobson will have them ready come November, I'm sure.
That'd be a whole nother show. We could sit here and talk about everybody that's coming back next year. We'd be doing this another hour and a half or so. Well,
hey, we will see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. sharp, or medium sharp, 7-ish. We'll go 7-ish, and with the big announcement tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it. Obviously, with the quarantine issue, we can't go to the school this year. I'm gonna do it from right here. We'll have a coach on video chat just like we're doing now, and talk a little bit and let everybody get on with their day. But join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Remember, last hour, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Last update comes out at 11 o'clock sharp. So 11 o'clock on the dot will be the last update, and then from 11:01 on till 11:59. It's put it in if you've got it. I mean, and we'll add them all up. We'll know by midnight or shortly thereafter, and then 7 o'clock comes the announcement, and we're gonna record it. And I can't wait to see if there's any content worth even publishing out of that hour.
We'll get something out of it. Much? Probably not.
Well, we'll have Larry Legend on the line. So real quick, last thing, big thanks to Larry Klein, oh gosh, I'm running out of titles for him. Executive producer, chief engineer. He's just Larry Legend. I mean, you get to, I've spent a lot of time with him this year, Coach, just on W7 Lights. I mean, talk about, his, what he brings to W7.
Oh man, what he helped me with this year is last year, as you know, I had to pick a kid, like you did this year so often when you went into the different communities. I had Legend with me every step of the way, and he would get there. He'd say, "What time you getting there?" And of course, we get there at a certain time. I'd say what time, and he'd get there half hour before whatever time I said. And then he'd text me immediately, "When are you getting here?" I mean, he was so excited to be there and be a part of that, and he got me all set and prepared, and he was able to get me set up most of the time. And it made everything so easy for me this year. It was great. It was fantastic work with him.
Well, good news. His contract has been renewed for another year. So bad news. We're still thinking about you, though. We're not for sure yet.
My contract might be up like Cinderella at midnight. That's fine.
You know what? You wouldn't get paroled out of here. Good luck. Hey, Coach, thanks for everything. You're aces, man. Appreciate it. And of course, thank Andrea for giving all the time that she does for you to come out and do this stuff with us. It's so great having you as part of it. And we're looking forward to W7 Light coming back again next year, bigger, better, stronger than ever. And with the help we've gotten this year, I think we'll have some big improvements coming. I don't know if we can call it W7 Light anymore. We may have to come up with a new brand for it because I think you're going to be pretty close to where I'm at.
Excellent. Bring it on. Let's get
All
more games, more involved. You
betcha. Hey, good luck the rest of the way, folks. We will see you at 7 a.m. bright and squirrely as we announce the 2020-2021 W7 Homeschool Champion. You've been watching W7. And once again, and lastly, and most importantly, everything we do, it is for the girls. Have a great rest of your night.